Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I am bringing you a game of the original Total Annihilation, the OG game created back all the way in 1997. This is where it all began. If you are one of my bar viewers, then maybe you've never even seen this game before, but this is actually the game that bar came from. This is the original game called Total Annihilation that created all these amazing sequels and spin-offs, and I have been playing it since I was 10 years old. I started playing this game when I was 10. Oh, it's cringy. Oh. And where has my life gone? You know, how am I a better person because of it? I can't truly ask that question, but it's a bit like an addict. You know, once you are already addicted, you know, once you are already on the stuff, it's kind of hard to really you know, regret your decisions now. I mean, you've already invested so much of your time and life into it. Is that, I always get the two confused. There's the gambler's fallacy and the sunk cost fallacy. So I think it's the sunk cost fallacy actually I'm thinking of. You know, once you've already sunk so much time into something, you feel like you have to continue sinking more time and resources into it. Otherwise, all the time that you already sunk into it is a waste. And so my entire life basically boils down to one massive sunk cost fallacy. That I've already invested so much time into this piece of shit. How can I stop now? But all jokes aside, everyone, let me introduce the players. This is a 3v3 on a map called Corrupted. Why is it called Corrupted? I don't know. It's just what they called it. But yeah, let's introduce the southern team first. It's the south and the north teams. So here in the south, we have no rules, the red core player. Here in, where is this commander? Oh, there's this commander. Okay, here in light blue, we have Reaper core. And here in poop-colored brown, we have Gully. In yellow, we have Nameless. In purple, we have Abdul Rahman. And of course, in orange, this is the worst player. This player is actually just terrible. Dog shit TA player. I really, pretty much this whole match, I'll probably be, you know, throwing insults and other, you know, colored language at this person, but I will say he's at least playing ARM, so at least he's representing the side of humanity, unlike some of you scrubs that I can't name. So yeah, final player going ARM, Wing Flyer, the worst TA player that has ever lived. And look, this is on this is for a mod called Escalation, so we are not playing the original game in the sense of this is a modded version, heavily modded. In fact, this mod is really cool. It adds actually 4 tiers of technology, so that's a tier of technology even beyond what bar has. And as I jump into this game, I'm excited to show you guys what the good old OTA engine was like, what it was like playing back 25 years ago. Of course, 25 years ago, we all had tiny monitors, and so you would play zoomed in. Basically, what you would see when this game was originally created was like your screen was probably like this, maybe. That's what you could see. I'm not exaggerating. That was about it. That was what you could see. So that's how zoomed in you were. But of course, technology has come a long way. But one thing I will say, everyone, is that in these 3v3s, it's very important to try to hold the center. I've mentioned that in previous casts. You do want to try to hold as much of the map as you possibly can. And holding the center. This map is interesting because there's two real entrances onto either side. There's of course these main entrances to the east and west, these huge gulfs, but then there's these kind of the valley, or the skinnier entrance, the ridge, the hot steps. For my 300 fans, that is a little harder to get through, but yeah, here in the beginning of the game, this is similar in many ways to how you might see in a bar game with lots of gators or incisors. In bar terms, you got flashes, you got peewees or pawns, just lots of early on T1 units duking it out here in the middle. Trying to get control of this center area is very important. Definitely want to try to get that early foothold if you can. And of course, orange building some flashes and not microing them at all. So this is what I mean. This orange player is actually terrible. And here in the bottom right, yellow doing a decent job of trying to hold that off. So it seems like the south team at the beginning doing a better job of holding the middle here. And like I said, that's really important. We have a leveler or a pounder if you're from bar, the core riot tank, and orange beginning to build some defense here. Purple as well. Going to try to wall this off. You don't want to let the southern team break through this entrance. It's pretty important to defend your side of the map. And even though the northern team definitely wants to hold the middle, it seems like the southern team has done a little bit of a better job here. But yellow does have a lot of flashes, and that could actually give him the opportunity to take the mid. Or maybe he's going to try to go for a run-by play, bringing these flashes down here into the fray, through the hot steps, into the southern side of the map, through this nice little valley. He could get something done, but guys, levelers are very, very strong against flashes. They're designed to counter this kind of spammy strategy. So ultimately, the southern team doing a better job of controlling this area, causing a lot of problems. As we see now, brown with some storms, which is the rocket K-bot, and thuds, which is the plasma K-bots. And these are both more of a long-range artillery kind of K-bots. So a nice mixture of units early on from the southern team, as again, still doing a better job of holding the map, and but yellow actually is doing a good job as well, building these light laser towers, taking out this aggression early on. Light laser towers are, you know, it's a cheap T1 defense, and they do well in numbers. If you can have like quite a few light laser towers, it will be a good way to push these attacks back. As you can see here, light blue with a few LLTs here in the middle, stopping the northern team from really doing any real pushes. But man, this is still very close, as the southern team attempting to push through this little choke point, this little valley with a big rock in the middle, and the northern team building some defense up there. So early on, still a pretty even game, even though the southern team has managed to certainly hold the middle better. But red is now on T2, going that T2 K-bot lab for core and building a pyro. And let's see, what is brown doing? Brown looks like he's still on T1. Yellow also just still pumping out the flash spam, and purple creating some warriors. Go ahead and get rid of this. Okay. And yellow attempting another run through or run by with these flashes. But there are a lot of units here. I don't know if that's enough flashes to really really get the damage that the North team wants done. It's a pretty cheeky play, I think, moving through here with some flashes and trying to get some damage done. But I mean, still continuing to run through here is yellow, and now brown attempting to come down and halt this aggression, perhaps stop this wave of units from the north that continues to push down. But now pyros or fiends, if you are from bar, on the field, and these can simply roast pretty much any 2-1 unit. They will melt them into a nice puddle of metal, and that will almost certainly stop this push in its tracks. Pyros are very, very strong at the early T2 phase. Like I've said before, they're fast. They do a lot of great damage at a close range. But orange breaking through here still anyway. And now brown with nice use of thuds. So it does seem like the northern team finally breaking out here and controlling the middle a little bit better than their opponents. Good use of flashes and warriors and javelins, but again, these pyros are just too strong. I think they're just probably gonna, like I said, stop this push in its tracks and force the northern team back. Light blue building a lot of light laser towers here, so that's pretty effective. But these hammers will outrange the LLTs. However, they have to be microed. You have to make sure that you're using them correctly. You can't just throw your units into the fray. But so far, still a very close game. Still either team's game to win, as the northern team has done a decent job of reclaiming the middle. But red is on T2, light blue, let's see, working on still just building T1 spam, and brown is on T2 as well, pumping out some advanced cons or construction K-bots. Orange heading to T2. And let's see, what is purple doing? Purple slowly getting to T2. He only has one con, building the advanced K-bot lab, but that will probably be decent. And Nameless, though, however, he has gotten to T2 air. Now, T2 air is very, very strong in Escalation or in OTA. It can do a lot of damage. You can certainly snipe a commander. Guys, one thing I will say, this is a big difference between the way OTA and OTA mods were played versus, say, bar, is that in OTA, when a commander dies, it will kill him. It will kill the entire player. So if you snipe a commander, not only his comm, but all of his units and buildings will die. He's out of the game. It's not like in bar where if you lose your commander, you get to keep playing until everyone's commanders are dead on the same team. If you lose a comm in OTA, everything you own is gone. So that's really important. That is one reason that T2 air can be very good. You can snipe enemy commanders and take the entire player out of the game. So we'll have to see how that will play a part in this game, as you are about to see. But yeah, red with a almost like a critical mass of pyros here. That's so many pyros. And that is going to push, I think, push most of this back. As orange is now on T2. And yellow building up brawlers, no doubt for a commander snipe. I think yellow going to try to take a player out of the game if he can. In very brutal fashion. But this is so many pyros. This is, like I said, a critical mass. And even light laser towers are going to have a hard time stopping this unit. It's so powerful at this early T2 phase. A lot of thuds as well moving in to take out the light laser towers. And definitely going to get this Geo. This Geo is not long for this world as it will explode. Nice battle continuing to rage at the west as well. But now red moving through with what could be an unstoppable group of pyros. However, here comes this huge army of brawlers. And yellow not even bothering to kill the pyros. He could easily take out these pyros with the brawlers. But I think instead he's going to go for the commander snipe here. So, again, red moving through with these brawlers. And yellow, who could have killed them easily, instead attempting to take red out of the game. He's found his commander. But, guys, just like in bar, you can cloak your commander. And when you cloak your commander, it does make them a little bit harder to target. Especially if you can't see the radar blip, you kind of have to click the ground instead. And so now we're in this weird situation where red is slowly moving into yellow's base, killing everything he has with pyros. And yellow is attempting to kill red's commander with these brawlers, but truly not doing a great job. So in this situation, you need to attack the ground. So you would click the attack or press A and click on the ground. And I don't know what yellow is doing exactly. I think he either doesn't know that you can attack the ground or what. But what's happening is that red's commander is kind of phasing in and out here, and yellow just not doing a great job of trying to kill him. And in the meantime, his base is now getting melted by all these pyros that he could have easily killed with his brawlers. But not even, it doesn't look like he's even paying attention to his commander. A single D-gun here could be enough to actually stop him, but I think his attention is down here, still trying to kill red's commander, but doing a terrible job of it. And as a result, yellow will he will be taken out of the game. In fact, red calls him a noob, and I think that's a very fair assessment, because he should have easily been able to kill red's commander, but just not using those brawlers effectively, and that will make this game into a that will quickly make this 3v3 into a 2v3. As you can see, all of yellow's stuff has been destroyed, not even leaving a corpses to reclaim or anything. He's just been completely eliminated from the game. And now that we're in a 2v3 situation, it is looking quite dire for the northern team indeed, as this is just gone from being a game that was fairly even to a game that looks basically impossible to win. This entire eastern side of the northern base has no defenses at all. There's nothing here to stop the southern team from just pushing in and killing the northern team. However, orange has built a sentinel here, and a purple saying in the all chat, it's GG, we might as well restart. Orange agreeing that this game is probably over. There's just not much that can be done at this point, and now brown moving in. However, there is a bulldog on the field, and bulldogs are extremely powerful units, and they're very strong against T1 especially. They have a nice fire rate and good AoE shell explosions. So that should at least push Brown back for now. But yeah, the northern team more or less acknowledging that the game is over. There's no way to win from here. Their yellow player was taken out because he just did such a terrible job of assassinating Red's commander and didn't even defend his own commander. And yeah, causing this game to probably end much more earlier than it should have. Purple asking how yellow was murdered, and yeah, I guess he wasn't paying attention. But yeah, these pyros came in and just murdered him. But again, there's no defense here at the northern side. This game looks all but lost. Purple is moving down, however, and gonna try to get some damage done. A nice little counterattack. I kind of think he would. It would be better for him to use his units though to defend his base, because his base is about to get demolished. And yeah, Orange saying can't click a calm. You know, if Purple could take out Reaper here, he would at least make it into a 2v2. That would be more winnable. But now Purple's base getting eviscerated by all of this T1 spam, all these thuds and raiders, and the pyros moving in as well. However, Geos in Escalation can be upgraded with missiles if you're armed. And I don't know, but yeah, Purple's base pretty much being eliminated here. And can Purple kill Reaper though? Can he make it into a 2v2? That would be pretty nice. He's getting him low. He will take him out, so nice job by Purple. And we are now in a 2v2 situation, so perhaps there is still hope for the northern team after all. This advanced K-Bot lab being roasted by the pyros. And can he save it? No, the K-Bot lab will go down. So Purple continuing to move through with these units, but I don't know. His base has pretty much been eliminated. He's lost all of his production. He doesn't even have many resources left. Yeah, Purple is almost out of the game, aside from the units that he still has on the map, which amounts to a few Zeuses and some warriors, it seems. And so now it's kind of like Orange in a 2v1 versus Red, who is moving to T3. So guys, in Escalation, it's pretty interesting because T3 works a little bit differently here. Hold that thought. Yeah, Purple doing a decent job, even though he's pretty much lost everything. Using these final few units to take out some of Red's eco. Nicely played. Taking out a few of these basically mini fusions. So a good little battle here, but yeah, this I guess we still have a ball game, boys, as in the west, Orange moving down with some Bulldogs. And the match will continue despite the fact that Yellow was taken out. Purple does take out Reaper out of the game. And Orange moving down with some Bulldogs as well to try to get some harassment done on Brown's base. However, cans are a decent counter to Bulldogs, or they're a decent opponent. And most of these Bulldogs will, fortunately or unfortunately, be removed from the world, as the last of Purple's army has been eliminated from the game, and now Purple just doesn't have much left. It is basically orange in a 2v1 scenario here. And seems to be struggling with energy. Currently working on a fusion. So a fusion reactor will give orange some more energy. But yeah, it's this has just been a weird game. Just a lot of scorched earth happening. A lot of destruction happening on both sides. So let's look at the player eco here as let's see, Reaper has been taken out of the game. Gully looks to be on about 56 metal per second. Wingflyer has finished his fusion. And just sending down some scouts to see what's going on. Red still at 58 metal per second. But again, purple at 9 metal. Purple having almost nothing at this point. Pretty much nothing left in the game for him. And so again, it's kind of a 2v1 right now with orange versus these two players. Brown has a lot of cans moving up. He's got a lot of thuds here as well. So both teams just kind of recovering at this point. I'll speed up the game just to kind of let the players rebuild their bases and assemble their armies so that we can get back into the juicy combat. But the southern team still looks to have the advantage because they've got two players where purple is more or less out of the game. I mean, he's slowly rebuilding perhaps, but it's probably going to take a while. And orange on the 2 advanced vehicle plants, pumping out bulldogs still. Building some defenses here to prevent another catastrophe from moving through the northeast side, like these pyros, for example. So, yeah, again, I'm speeding up the game to kind of allow the players to rebuild and get back into the glorious combat that that TA and the TA mods have to offer. But anyways, as I was saying before, the way T3 works in Escalation is a little different. So, for example, in Bar, there's just one T3 factory, and it has all the T3 units in it, right? So, the T3 factory has like the T3 hovercraft, and the T3 vehicles, and the T3 K-bots. But in Escalation, it's different because every different type of factory has T3. So there's a vehicle T3 factory, there's a K-bot T3 factory, there's an air T3 factory, there's a hovercraft T3 factory, and there's a naval T3 factory. And so every different type of unit in the game basically has T3. And then there's T4 in Escalation, and T4 in Escalation is kind of like T3 is in Bar. So there's only a single T4 factory. However, the T4 factory is like this game-ending tech. So when you build T4 in Escalation, it's truly awesome. But it's so unbelievably expensive that you almost never see it. But it's like, you know, shooting nukes, you know, across the screen and massive explosions, and like it's meant to just end the game. It's that type of ridiculous game-ending shenanigans. The T4, and some of my previous casts, you can actually find some of the some T4 games in my previous casts that do make it to that point, and you get to see like what type of just, I don't know, chaotic game-ending clown fiesta shenanigans that T4 has to offer. It's pretty amazing. like I said, I mean, typically the game doesn't get there because just like in bar, T3 is usually enough to end the game. But if it does get to T4, you get to witness something truly spectacular in Escalation. So, yeah, that's might link a couple games that get to T4 just so you guys can have an idea of what it's like. In that way, it's a little bit more like FAF. If any of my viewers are FAF watchers, Forged Alliance got to T4 as well. And yeah, the T4 stuff in Forged Alliance was meant to end the game, and it certainly did. But finally, Orange moving in with this group of Bulldogs, perhaps trying to break through all these thuds. And the Bulldogs doing a decent job of it, but the problem is there's this entrance is so thin, and with the with this rock in the middle, it will make it difficult to push through here, through the gap. And now Brown moving forward with all of his cans. Cans versus Bulldogs, it's a pretty even matchup. I would say in mass numbers, Bulldogs might have a slight advantage just because the Bulldogs do have an AoE effect where the cans can only hit one target. But these Mortys or Sheldons from Bar are very long range, and so they can outrange the Bulldogs. And Orange seems to be pulling Brown into his defenses, because this area of the map is where a lot of defenses have been constructed, so Orange retreating into that. And now we see the first penetrator on the field. In Bar, these are called Starlights. Again, I don't know about the name Starlight. That seems a little bit not the greatest name for like a mech RTS, you know, kind of a futuristic RTS, but whatever you call the penetrators, they are pure power on treads. These purple tachyon lasers destroy most things in one shot. It is a joy to witness. And now Orange has kind of baited the southern team into the defenses and will now use these Bulldogs, try to clean up what he can, as now these penetrators moving out onto the battlefield and absolutely annihilating anything that the tachyon lasers touch. Purple saying that he will clean up the pyros. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a game on our hands. It looked to be completely over for the northern team after yellow was unceremoniously wiped out, but now the game has moved into a much closer, a much more even battle, as these penetrators, staying true to their name. The whole point of the penetrator in some way is to destroy these targets that have a massive amount of health. The penetrator has a huge amount of front-loaded damage. They fire a single purple laser that does a huge chunk of a unit's health, or usually killing it, but there's a long reload time. So the penetrators are not as good against like the smaller T1 spam, but they're very good against heavier, especially T2 and T3 units. And now Orange with a good use of Lugers here. So this is a pretty nice composition. Bulldogs in the front to act as that wall. Lugers for more of the long-range fire to hit the defenses and clumped up units, and then the penetrators in the back. And this is truly a sight to behold, because these cans just don't really stand a chance. Penetrator is very strong against cans. They outrange them, and they do a ton of damage. And so, yeah, this composition is very nice. But, yeah, purple still seems to think that the northern team can't win, and certainly it seems, or it seemed pretty dire there for a long time. But let's see, what is red doing? Red is on T3, however, now pumping out these Talos, and the Talos, very strong unit at the early T3 phase. And orange attempting to push into this defense. However, there is a lot of defense here. So this this base is, or brown at least putting up a good fight against this nice composition of bulldogs, penetrators, and Lugers. I want to see how many kills these penetrators have. 9 kills on this one. 17 kills on this penetrator. What a monster. 4 kills on that one. 3, 2. But yeah, the penetrator is very strong indeed, and with the Lugers in the background, they will be able to deal decent damage to the defense. Guys, let me turn down the sound a little bit. I don't want it to be deafening. The TA sounds are very cool, but I'm gonna do my best to keep it engaging without it being deafening. Now, sumos are a nice unit as well, coming onto the battlefield. However, penetrators are pretty good against sumos too. And seems like brown having maybe just enough defense to hold this off. Problem is, orange has lost all of his bulldogs, and so that front line that was tanking all of the units is now dead, and that will make these very vulnerable penetrators and Lugers. It'll make it much harder for them to stay in combat. So, but orange is now on T3 and building a Chimera. The Chimera is a really interesting unit. There's really, well, I don't know. It's kind of similar, I guess, to the Thor in Bar. It's a lightning tank. It's a very heavy, hard to kill frontline unit that's great against groups of smaller units. And so the point of this is to act as the front line for all of these penetrators and Lugers, so that orange can potentially break this base. Let me speed it back up. Now, in terms of eco, red does have the best economy right now. He's working on his 5th fusion. He's working on mantle extractors, which is a T3 metal extractor. So guys, in Escalation, there are T3 metal extractors. So there is like a T3 eco. And purple has gotten back into the game. Of course, he's had plenty of time to do it. So this game now on much more of an even footing than it was about 20 minutes ago. And this Chimera moving out onto the battlefield. The Scorpion is it's a T3 anti-air vehicle. And these are very good at taking out huge groups of air units. There's really nothing like it in Bar. There's not really a T3 anti-air vehicle, but in Escalation, that is something that's much more common, or much more, those types of units are certainly in the game. There's like the T3 Air Factory in Escalation has some really awesome things. So it's got like these T3 air superiority fighters. Ooh, a nice tactical nuke there that will take out some of orange's stuff. Let's see what's going on here. There's the okay, so there's a couple tactical nukes here. Now, one thing is, in Escalation, tactical nukes can be blocked by anti-nukes. So that's one difference. In Bar, tactical nukes cannot be blocked by anti-nukes. They are unblockable. But that is one difference between the two games, is that anti-nukes will stop tactical nukes. And again, red currently with the best eco right now, but orange certainly with the scariest army, a nice mix of Lugers, Penetrators, and Chimera. And yeah, so the game is still very close, but the point of this is that the Chimera acting as the tanky front line for this epic battle, and with the Chimera in the front, the Penetrators and the Lugers can sit in the back and push out their massive ranged DPS. That is the intention anyway. And can Brown hold this T3 push? Another battle about to occur here. Now guys, these Chimera have a lot of health. They are very strong indeed. See how many kills this thing has. 5 kills so far. And Brown bringing up some units as well. With this Chimera in the front line. Shooting out all of these bursts of lightning with the Penetrators and Lugers as well. This is a very epic battle. But now that the Chimera is down, again, Orange has the problem. He does not have a front line. And all of these units are now vulnerable. But again, these Penetrators just worth their weight in gold. So many kills on these. Each shot is often killing a unit. But now red bringing up some Talos, and orange building the Centurions. So the Centurion, I don't know if there's anything like it in bar, but it's like the T3. I think it's literally called the very heavy, the super heavy assault tank. So it is. Again, I don't know if there's anything like it necessarily in bar, but it's kind of like the upgrade to the bull or the bulldog. It is a massively heavy T3 tank with a huge amount of health and damage. So once these start getting to the front line, they should be able to tank for all of these units. Red's still building Talos. And on 4 aircraft plants, I'm not really sure why. He's got 4 aircraft plants pumping out scouts. He does have a couple Rapiers or core gunships up here as well. But now Red bringing his own units to try to stop this push. As it is, this siege has been going on now for about 20 minutes or more. And Orange continuing to pump out more and more Centurions, the T3 super heavy assault tank. And I'm excited for you guys to get to see these Centurions in action. They are definitely nothing to scoff at. They have these twin barrels at the front. I think they even have some light anti-air as well. And Brown now just getting to T3 at the 55-minute mark. But the first Centurion making its way to the front line. And Purple building a lot of gunships. These can be very strong. So now the Centurion at the front. Oh no, I'm wrong. It has 3 barrels. It's like a Gatling gun of super heavy cannons. And once again, this battle will continue to rage here in the northwest. There's more Centurions coming onto the front line. What is Red doing, though? Red on 6 aircraft plants. Brown moving in with his Mortys and AKs here. And Orange with a Scarab, the anti-nuke, because there were tactical nukes being used, but now the Centurion with its rapid-fire cannons. Each shot so powerful, and look how much health these things have. They're so damn hard to kill. And with the penetrators and the Lugers in the background, this is going to be quite a terrifying push indeed for the northern team. And it's going to be very difficult for the southern team to stop. Some scouts flying over here. This one Centurion already has 10 kills. I mean, it's hard to actually explain how much damage these things do. They're just so damn hard to kill. And now it seems like Orange breaking into Brown's base for the first time in the game, really breaking through all these defenses and making it into the back line. Now Brown's commander is here, and Purple has pinged his comm. Purple bringing some air in for the snipe, some brawlers in for the snipe. However, there is a flak there. There's a lot of flaks. The comm is it's about 2/3 health, so that won't quite kill it. There's too much air defense. However, this push is continuing to come down, and again, it's super close. The southern team doing what they can to push this off, but with all these penetrators in the back line, sniping everything that gets into their quite considerable range, Red's Talos don't really stand a chance. And yeah, I don't know. It almost looks like Orange has given up as maybe that. Oh no, that was I guess that was a decoy commander. I think that was a decoy commander. Okay, I didn't realize that. So guys, you can build decoy commanders to kind of fool your opponents. Even in bar, you can build decoy commanders, and so decoy commanders are interesting because you can kind of force your opponents to think that you know, invest a ton of resources attempting to snipe a commander that's not even real. Decoy commanders are not that expensive to build. And in bar, they even have a fake D-gun, so that's pretty interesting. But now the Defiler moving in. The Defiler is like an AoE radiation vehicle. Of course, it doesn't have a ton of health. And I think Brown just left the game, as now Orange moving through with a massive amount again of Centurions and Bulldogs. And most of these penetrators I think have been killed now. No, there's still a few. There's still looks to be about 4 penetrators. These are the veterans of the battle. 15 kills on that one, 13 kills, 8 kills, and 11. So These penetrators are so strong. And now it is just red in a 2v1. A game that looked utterly unwinnable for the northern side after yellow was taken out unceremoniously early on. What a comeback for the northern team. This has been, I don't know, this is just such an epic game. It was such an epic game to play, actually. It was so fun. Tactical nuke coming down from red, and it will take out some of orange's army, but it's just not going to be enough as these Centurions and Bulldogs moving through, dealing a massive amount of damage to everything that red owns, and not exactly sure what purple is doing here, aside from just being a moral support. There are brawlers here, or rapiers rather, but red will tap out as that game was over. The northern team with a miraculous comeback. And guys, if that was your first time watching a TA game or an Escalation game, they are quite epic indeed. This is the kind of shenanigans you can expect. T3 and T4, there's all kinds of crazy things that can happen in these games. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, everyone. That was actually a game that I played. I was orange in that game, and I played it, I don't know, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've been meaning to cast it. But yeah, that's anyone in my channel that says that comebacks aren't possible in Escalation. I hope that settles that debate once and for all, because that was an amazing comeback and a really fun game to play. And guys, if you are interested in playing OTA, I actually made a video on my channel of how to install install it on modern systems and play online with all the latest mods and maps. So check that out if you want, if you're interested in coming to play the original game. But otherwise, I really appreciate everyone for watching the cast, and I will see you on the flip side.